Recently, we took one brand from $3,000 per day to over $100,000 per day in only 30 days, and we didn't change a single ad. The only thing that we changed was what's said between the ad itself and the product page. And the thing is that most brands don't even have anything between these two pages, and this is one of the main reasons that their ads basically fail when they try to scale and they just lose profit. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I implement this system live. I found a random brand and I'm going to show you how I implement this system in that brand. So basically what to add to the page, how the page looks like, the copy, and how to actually build it, and how to use AI to do all of these things faster. So this is the brand that I basically found. It's a completely random brand. I just found it on HUI. As you can see, it's called High Strips, and this is what their like recent ads or their top performing ads basically look like. And first of all, the first thing that you must understand, you need to understand basically the person landing on your page. And now this is the first thing that basically changes everything, right? Pay close attention to this. Your product page is not built for the person your ads are actually sending it. You can read that a couple of times. Your product page is not built for the person your ads are actually sending it. It's built for someone who already knows you and is already interested in your brand, your product, someone that typed your brand into Google, but that is not who is clicking your ads anymore, right? Not at scale, at least. And what High Strips basically does is they have all of these nice ads, but they're sending them all to this type of page, very simple product page. Now picture who is actually clicking on the ad, right? This person, maybe they just got off work, they're tired, and they're just scrolling on this autopilot mode. Your ad catches them, it catches their attention, they click, they probably didn't even finish reading or watching the ad, the ad copy, the video itself, and now they land on a product page like this. And what do? You just say like, here's the product, this is what it does, and just here is the buy button, right? Like, here are some benefits that you can enjoy, like whatever, you can buy multiple, a bundle, and then just add to cart. That's it, right? But they don't know you and they don't trust you yet. They were half checked out 10 seconds ago, and now you're asking them for their cart details, right? I'm sorry, but that doesn't work, and that won't work if you want to make a lot of money in e-commerce. So how are we actually going to make sure that this person trusts us, understands who we are, and becomes interested, right? How are we going to do that? And we're going to do that by adding a page between these two things. So the ad and the product page itself, we're going to add one more page between here. And you might be like, but isn't that adding an extra step or whatever? No, trust me, I'm going to explain everything later. As I said, we do this by adding a page between the ad and the product page, which warms up the people before even offering them to buy the product. Now, what to add on this page? So what nobody tells you is that the wrong stuff on the page is actually worse than having no page at all. And this is why, as I said, yes, it is adding an extra page. And if you just do it like randomly, if you just use like AI out of nowhere, basically, to create this page, is not going to be good. So there are 5 main points that you need to have on it that make sure that no questions or objections are left unanswered and people are ready to buy. So this is just like what a good page looks like. It's called a listicle basically, and I can't show you the one that we built because, of course, I mean, it's a brand that I worked with. I can't show you that, but this is a very popular one, and this is what the page itself actually looks like. So the 5 main points. So no, there's no headline here on purpose, so I'm going to show you more how to write a good headline for it later on. So there are basically 5 main points. And now, how are you actually going to like figure out what to write on this page, right? And you are going to do this by doing research. And I did this myself. Like, I basically went on Reddit, found some things that are going to actually make good points, right? So for example, the first point is the one of the things that you must have is the desire that is going to make them intrigued. So for example, a page, this is a very simple page that they could add between their ad and their product page. So first point, you wake up on the first alarm, not the 6th. Now this is for example, desire that the person might want, right? So no more 6 alarms 5 minutes apart, no more snoozing to 4 of them without really being awake for any. You can read this if you want. Now the second point, pain point about their relationship. So this is basically just a pain point, right? You stop waking up everyone else with you in your relationship. This is a problem that people have. So on Reddit, someone literally posted this on a forum, right? So for example, I am at my boiling point with 8 alarms that my boyfriend sets every morning. He sets around 6 or 8 alarms every morning, 5 to 10 minutes apart. I cannot take it anymore. It makes no sense. It disrupts the REM cycle for me. I go to bed early and wake up at an ungodly hour just to accommodate, or like, right? She just says like how unhappy she is with that, right? And we do this. So if you're up at 7, and they're up at if you're up at 5 and they're up at 7, you've been taking 2 hours of their sleep every single day, right? They probably haven't made it a big deal, but it builds. A lot of couples basically end up in a separate room over this, and it almost always starts with alarms. But with this, nothing makes a sound anymore. You just feel it on your wrist, you get up, and they do not move, right? That's it. Now, another one, I was literally starting to hate him. A person wrote this, right? And this is why research is basically so important, right? Because, like, you look at what these people are posting, what these people are saying, and you add these things to the page itself. Look at look at where these are posted as well, right? So they're not posted on like a sleep subreddit, but they're posted on like a relationships subreddit, on a ask women over 30, whatever. They're treating this basically as a relationship problem, not as a sleep problem. This is why I said like it's very important to do research, because if you just like put a page and wow, here are 5 reasons why our product is the best, right? It won't work. This is the thing that is actually going to work. Research like this, right? And then pain point about identity, so you stop being late because of alarm snoozes. We have a benefit here and a mechanism basically why this works. So they need to understand your product and why it actually does what you promise them. Like why is it going to take care of these pain points? Why is it going to achieve this desire? How is it going to do that, right? Your brain can't tune out your own wrist. Sound is easy for a sleepy brain to register as background noise. That's why 5 alarms stop, but touch is different. Blah blah blah. We basically just say that them having it on their wrist, like the brain can't ignore that, right? Benefit, secondary one. Another benefit, you stop waking up with your heart pounding, right? And we just write some things here like this is actually something that I've experienced as well personally, you know, waking up alarms and just you were in this deep sleep and then just your heart is like literally pounding because of waking you out of nowhere. And we're just saying here with vibrations, you wake up calm instead, same alarm time, you just don't start the day feeling like something bad will happen. And an extra small tip here, you can even name your mechanism here, like come up with some name, whatever, doesn't really matter. Benefit, another benefit, is plus a bonus. So basically your phone finally leaves the bedroom. So 14 day that it has like 14 days on one charge. Set the alarm right on the bed on up to 3 alarms, no app, no pairing, and nothing to sing. And everyone tells you to stop keeping your phone by the bed because it's bad for you. And this is like the product, the part that actually makes this possible. You know, a lot of people say that. So yeah, this might be a benefit that they care about. Guarantee plus social proof, and it removes the last objection and doubt. So you have 100 nights to try it for free, the guarantee. Most alarms give you 30 days, so you get 100 nights because you need enough warnings to actually trust that this works. Over 83,000 people, the social proof basically, have already started waking up more easily with the mechanism name. If it doesn't work for you, you don't pay. So, and it removes the last objection, which might be like, you know, what if this doesn't work for me? Well, if it doesn't work for you, you get all of your money back. Now you've got the points that will actually do the selling, but the thing is that none of that matters if the person leaves the second that they land on the page, and your ad money gets wasted when that happens, right? So the third point is how to make sure that people don't instantly leave. So your ad, basically, again, just a random product here, your ad has a specific tone, angle, and maybe even a specific person in it. Then they land on your page and it looks nothing like the ad. It has a different message, I promise, I feel, and things like that. Their brain goes like, this isn't what I clicked for, and they just bounce, they leave, and your ad money is basically wasted. And now imagine, let's say, this ad, right? Now look at the difference between between these two things, right? So if this is one of the pages of the person and lands on basically, and this is what a bad version of it I'd say would look like, right? So for example, here the person is instantly like, they can just skim through it and they see that the picture is something about their neck, something about a pain point in their neck. But now this second one, it might work, like I just created this randomly, right? But I think it wouldn't, because for example, we here are talking about something with your neck, and now this, you might be like, oh yes, this is like something connected to it, like, you know, them using their phone and being constantly like this, constantly looking down. But the thing is that the person needs to think about it. It's like they're like, okay, wait. So we were just talking about like my neck and how I have neck pain, and now you're showing me a person looking down on his phone, and I'm like, you know, is it the same thing? They need to think, and that extra like extra second, 2 seconds, three seconds that they spend thinking, you're just making them like put more effort into this, and this is what makes them click off, because this person does not want to put effort into this. You know, you're at the hardest part basically. You got a stranger to click, so you can't waste this. You need to mirror the ad. If it was an ad about losing weight, for example, without the gym, your headline should say losing weight without the gym, same words that they clicked for. If it's an ad with a doctor authority in it, show the doctor in the hero section, right? Then the subhead is going to expand it. The headline is going to sell the dream. The subhead is going to explain just enough to make them want to scroll more. If you're not sure what to mirror, you must break down the ad, right? So go to your ad that is basically winning. So for example, this one, watch it and be like, what desire does it lead with? What is the tone? Like, who is in this ad? What words does it use? And once you actually understand why the ad itself is working, then you're going to feel like, okay, now I understand why people are clicking on my ad and what they actually want to see on the product page itself and what they're actually interested in, right? But now let's say the points are good, the hero section holds them, but there is still one thing that kills cold traffic even faster than bad copy, and that is bad visuals, right? So you must make people understand without even reading. Now, me personally, I found that the more everyday and unprofessional the images look, the better they work. And I know that it sounds like the opposite would actually make sense of how, and it is basically the opposite of what you think it would work. But of course, this doesn't mean that you can take or generate like some bad images and edit to your page. But I'm talking about getting images that seem like they were taken, like, you know, at a random moment, not polished, like there's no perfect lighting, no super model quality or whatever. So this is, for example, the same point said with two different images. So for example, point about, I sit on the edge of the bed for a minute or so when I wake up in the morning. This is again for a listicle, and now imagine the person just scrolling past this, and now they're seeing this image, and this, it is, for example, you would think that this is a random image taken at a random point, you know, but it's not. It's like very staged, very professional taken. But now this second one, it seems like basically his wife or some paralysis demon in the corner of his room like took it for when he woke up, basically, you know, and like a random image taken in a random time. And this is what I found that that has worked best for me. But this doesn't mean that, you know, you must only use this. For example, if your brand is very premium and expensive, this most likely is not going to apply to you, right? If you're targeting some emotions and you're trying to connect to the reader, unprofessional images and GIFs will work better. So also use a mix of images and GIFs where you can. You just imagine if Hollow Socks just said their facts without showing it. Like, would you trust them as much? Now let me show you what I mean, right? So if, for example, they say superior circulation, support, and comfort, like they are showing how comfortable, I guess, they are here, right? This is a very simple gift. This one, for example, stays cool and breathable, goodbye sweaty compression socks, and they show how water is basically literally like sliding off of them, right? Won't roll down or slip. They're showing the difference between these two things, and you get the point, right? Like they fit, built to last, whatever, softer than cashmere, like this is a very, very, very good one, and so on. If they didn't show them as gifts, like the person scrolling would not trust them as much, that's for sure. You must both show and tell, like show the product in motion or the mechanism in action or some emotion that you're talking about. Now you can do these things in the gifts, right? So the product in motion, you can honestly just check Hollow Socks again if you want inspiration. Like they do that, they show the product in motion, the mechanism in action, and some emotion that they're talking about. Or for example, this, you know, this is the emotion. But most likely you don't have any professional images or GIFs, and you can 100% use AI to generate this, but only if the result genuinely looks human. If people notice that it's AI, they'll be put off instantly and leave. Now I'm going to show you exactly how I use AI to generate good images, GIFs, and copy, including the ones that almost everyone skips, which is why their AI copy basically reads like everyone else's and their AI images turn bad. So step number 5, make everything easier with AI. Now, the thing about AI is that it writes based on patterns from millions and millions of pages that it has seen. Now, this means that if you just ask it for a landing page, for some landing page points, you get the average out of literally every single page that exists in the world, right? And your competitors, if they type the same prompt, they're going to get the same page. So first, you need to create a research doc. Now, this is what that basically looks like, right? You go to Claude, you open the project section, and now probably I've blurred this out so you don't see some of the things that I have here, but you're going to go to create a new project, name your project or whatever, like test, doesn't matter, right? You're going to open it and it is going to look like this at the end, right? Now, as you can see here, basically you have like some things, instructions, memory, context, scheduled, and in context, you are going to add your research doc. Now, what does this research doc actually look like? So the easiest thing that basically you can do is just go and create a Google Doc and then go on Reddit and start researching for your audience basically, and start seeing what they are saying on Reddit. You're going to go, for example, let's say I'm going to do a quick search. Let's say randomly, I just thought of this like from the same thing that I just showed you, right? And here we go. Let's say they're talking about this, and I just read like some of these things, blah blah blah. So these are my problems, and then I think that okay, she's saying like my sleep is suffering the week. I'm not getting enough sleep. Okay. So I hear them, and I don't know. I'm just going to be like, okay, this seems like something that I can use. Okay, boom, I get it. I just paste it, right? It's honestly that simple, right? Then I'm going to continue reading. Mom, going to read. Okay, this is also something that I actually need. Boom, I'm going to paste it. Okay, they're saying, why are you suffering this? Why are you suffering sleep deprivation for AM? Boom, I don't know. Maybe this is something else, right? And so on. And this is one of the things that you can do. Reddit. Then you might do, I don't know, whatever else, competitor analysis. Also, boom, edit there, edit to this Claude project. Over here, I also have like some onboarding questions. I have some other docs, for example, for CRO and whatever, those types of things. And basically, yeah, honestly, that is the whole thing. Like, here's just the screenshot to end it off. To actually, probably should have done this at the start, but here's a screenshot to actually prove that we've done this, 100K days. Compared to what previously it was, as you can see here, but previously it was like we got up to 20K days, and you can see here below here how it was much lower than that before, and we just slowly but surely started rising up, and in 30 days we hit like over 100K per day. But if you want to learn a bit more about how to use AI to help you write very good copy for landing pages or listicles or advertorials just like I showed you, then there's a video on the screen right now. But yeah, other than that, thank you for watching.